Hey everybody, it's GauntletX, and welcome back to one final flashback Premier Draft of Duskmourn House of 4. This is going to be the final day of this flashback draft season for Duskmourn in particular, so we'll see if we can't end off the format with a banger draft. Without further ado, let's get into the pack one, pick one, which is a banger pack for sure. We've got Under the Skin here, which is an incredible value card. 3 mana for a 2/2, and you pick up a permanent card from your graveyard, put it into your hand. That happens after you manifest Dread as well, so you can take a gamble on that mill hitting a permanent for you, even if there's nothing in your grave. Now, it's obviously better to cast it when you do have something in grave, but it's kind of cool the way that that works out. There's also the Piggy Bank, which is a great little aggressive creature, great stat line for the cost, 2 different card types for Delirium, which cares about having 4 different card types in your graveyard. So Piggy Bank does a lot of stuff, Cynical Loner does a lot of stuff. Bottomless Pool's a great bounce spell, but we have a good rare here. So we can go ahead and scoop up a Ghost of Vacuum, start exiling cards from graves, and spit out an army of spirit tokens in the late game. Excellent rare that fits into any deck, being completely colorless. Pick number 2 now, we've got a Rakdos rare, Undead Sprinter, black and red for a 2/2 trample haste. Whenever you cast you may cast this card from your graveyard if a non-zombie died this turn. If you do so, comes back as a 3/3. It comes back with a +1/+1 counter on it. That's pretty cool. Pretty strong. I think a really good monocolored removal spell might be worth taking over it still, like Glassworks or Vanish from sites, just because they're a lot more flexible. They'll fit into more decks and still be very, very solid, very premium cards. I think that's the real contention here. Undead Sprinter versus Vanish and Glassworks. I do like the Rakdos deck a lot. I think it's quite a lot of fun. It's a good sacrifice archetype where you can sacrifice not only your creatures but your enchantments as well. So you can play all of the rooms like Glassworks and then end up sacrificing the room itself after you've already got your removal spell out of it. So I'm going to take Undead Sprinter, but that's a little bit more because I'm partial to Rakdos than it being like super correct. I don't think it'd be crazy to just take a monocolored card here. Pick number 3 now. What have we got? We've got a Scorching Dragonfire for a really efficient removal spell out of red. There's also the Glimmerlight that can fit into any deck by being completely colorless. Spineseeker Centipede is an excellent card for any green deck. There's a lot of good ways to splash other stuff in the set. There's a lot of really good rares and mythics and stuff, so having cards like Spineseeker Centipede in your green decks is really, really good. And then there's this mythic, which is cool, but it has seemed a little bit too slow on average to actually end up being all that powerful. You can still win a game off of it in the right position, in the right matchup, but if you're against any aggressive decks, this can be a huge liability, so it's very, very matchup dependent, but sometimes it is going to be like that huge win condition for you, and then other times it's going to be like, I'm just going to die because this wasn't a creature or removal spell instead, so bit of a risk on that card, whereas Scorching Dragonfire basically always good. Whereas like the Charred Foyer is like sometimes insane and sometimes a liability. I'd rather just take a consistently good card here and grab the Dragonfire, I think. Pick number 4, there's a Glassworks there. Love that card. Just a 3 mana deal for another good cheap red removal spell. It is an enchantment that sits on your board, so you can sacrifice it for the Rakdos sacrifice cards as well. This is a really good pack in general, though. The Fear of Isolation is a very, very, very powerful blue spell. 2 mana for a 2/3 enchantment creature. You do have to return a permanent back to your hand when you play it, but there's a lot of really good enter the battlefield effects for that. There's also a lot of cards that care about every time an enchantment enters the battlefield under your control, so being able to like pick up one of those and replay it and get another enter effect is good. A lot of really good ways to use Fear of Isolation. That might be worth speculating off color, but I'm really happy where I'm sitting here starting Rakdos, so I'm going to grab the Glassworks. Be a little boring for now. Pick number 5. Shroud Stomper's okay if you can reanimate it, and incredibly expensive if you can't. I guess I should say it's really good if you can reanimate it, very expensive if you can't. The rest of these cards are quite mediocre cards for literally any deck. I would not be excited to have any of these in any archetype. The Playmate can be okay in red. It is 2 card types for Delirium. Mainly just a filler 2 mana 2/2, but yeah, this is just a bad pack all around. It's not necessarily a bad sign for Rakdos or anything because none of these cards are particularly good except maybe Shroud Stomper. Defiant Survivor is a card that looks so much better than it is. It's actually really difficult to actually get it going with the amount of good, cheap removal and cheap creatures and stuff in this set. Pick 6 now. Another pretty mediocre pack. Monstrous Emergence is likely the best card here, just a removal spell out of green. Everybody else is mid. We could play a Killer's Mask here in this archetype, I suppose. You can't sacrifice the artifact, though. Everything that cares about sacrificing cards in this set sacrifices a creature or enchantment, so that's a little awkward, but Still an interesting card. Pick number 7 now. Terramorphic Expanse is reasonable, and it's very good at fueling Delirium. Unsettling Twins, 2/2/2s for 4 mana. 2/2/2s off one spell is nice. Patchwork Beastie is really good for like the green-red Delirium decks. That's a solid aggro deck, and we're not that deep into black yet, so we could end up green-red Delirium. Maybe the green removal spell, maybe I tied myself too much to black. If I took the green removal spell instead of Killer's Mask last pack, then having this collection of cards being what we have, yeah, we'd actually be in a really good spot to go green-red Delirium aggro. I think that was a mispick. I should not have taken Killer's Mask over the green removal spell, I think. The green removal spell is just so much better. It's worth the speculation, and then obviously it would have immediately panned out by giving us the little aggro card for Delirium. Pick 8, pretty weak pack overall. The Inquisitive Glimmer is very solid for the blue-white enchantments build, though. Like, one reasonable playable, and it's for a completely different deck than anything that we would be doing right now. I guess it's possible, seeing this pick 8, that we could get a full pivot towards it, but pretty unlikely. I'm just definitely not playing any of the other cards anyway. Yeah, these have been some mid packs, really. Like, once we got halfway through the pack, things dried up quite a bit. So this is awkward. Again, it's like, here's another pack where none of these are good for anybody. Take the Campground to go with this Glimmer if that somehow ends up being where we go. But Cultist isn't like completely unplayable if we need filler cards. I'll speculate anyway. Charred Foyer came all the way back around. Seems like everybody agrees on that one. I will take it. I don't know if we're going to end up running it, but it is an option that we have now. The black-white archetype is open, but it's also a very inconsistent archetype, which is why it's open pretty often. Okay, we're going to keep playing black. I actually picked completely correctly this draft. I knew I didn't need a green removal spell because I knew I was going to open an incredible black rare. That means that we're going to have to stick to black even if we don't get too many other good black cards, because Unholy Annex and Ritual Chamber is absolutely absurd. 3 mana for an enchantment that lets you draw an extra card every turn and lose 2 life when you do so, but then later you unlock the Ritual Chamber for 5 mana, get a 6/6 Flying Demon, and then you gain life every time that you're drawing an extra card and make your opponent lose life. This card is completely ridiculous. Really easy to single-handedly win games off of that spell and draft. Pack 2, pick 2. No Rakdos in this pack, really. Let's play a game. Derelict Attic and Hand That Feeds. What's good in this pack? Flood Pit's Drowner's good, but there's no way we're playing that. And then like archetype-specific stuff like Delirium decks like the Manifest Dread. Awkward pack. Hand That Feeds or Let's Play a Game, I think. We have 2 2-mana creatures right now. Could definitely use more of those. Sure, I'll take a filler 2-drop over the weird Delirium discard spell. Pick number 3, there's a Terramorphic here. Nashi, if we try to splash blue. Doesn't feel great to be splashing for a 2-drop, though. It's not the craziest one in the world. Another pretty mid-pack, all things considered. I guess Winter's Intervention is reasonable here, too. I do like the red removal spells more, but this would be fine. Yeah, I mean, like, there's okay filler 2-mana creatures in white and green, and that's about it for the pack. I'm just gonna take the intervention here. Pick number 4. Okay, this is a powerful pack. Nothing incredible for Rakdos, but a powerful pack all around. We could take a Ticket Booth here or an Innocuous Rats. Oblivious Bookworm is a really, really good card. So that's juicing up the power level of this pack a lot, but it's not something we can play here. I think we take the Ticket Booth to fill out that 3-mana slot. Fun card for the Rakdos decks if we find ways to sacrifice enchantments, because it's just your 3-mana 2/2 on curve that leaves behind stuff to sack. Or you get some double strike in later, which is fun. Glimmerlight is okay. Defiled Crypt Cadaver Lab. By itself, it's like a really inefficient Gravedigger. It's 5 mana for a 2/2 and pick up a card from your grave. But if you have other ways to manipulate your cards in Grave, it can be good. It can be a way to get an army going, but we don't have those. Yeah, we don't really have any. I'm just going to take the Glimmerlight. Pick number 6. There's a Rakdos duel, Fanatic, Hand That Feeds, Balemerc, Leech, bunch of filler stuff. I'll take the Black-Red duel. Pick 7. Here's a decent way to sacrifice one of our extra rooms that's sitting around and just get a really efficient removal spell out of it. Don't mind the Final Vengeance here. Turn Inside Out is also a great combat trick for aggressive decks in the format. So that's a nice one too, but I'm going to go for the Final Vengeance here. Another Winter's Intervention. I don't think a second copy is going to make the cut, but we're not going to play Untimely Malfunction or Second Spectral Snatcher either. Pick 9 is nothing. Maybe we get to splash into Grixis rooms. Oh, wait, no, there was a Boiler Bilge's Ripper. That would be fine. Maybe I get to play around with the Smoky Lounge. I think I'm just way too excited about this card whenever I see it, because I love me in my Blue-Red Rooms deck, so may have made the wrong pick going for that. We'll see. Could have had a Boiler Bilge. Innocuous Rat. Come on in. Wield the Defiled Crypt. I don't think we're doing anything with that, but it's cool. Okay. Pack 3, pick 1, final pack. We have a very cool removal spell. Come Back Wrong. Destroy a creature, then put it onto your battlefield, and then sacrifice it in the end step. So if you destroy a creature with a good enter effect or a good death trigger, then this card's really, really cool and very solid value. So that's a really fun one. There's also the Disturbing Mirth, though, which is a really nice Rakdos card, and I think the way that this draft has gone, we are not the only Rakdos drafter, so this is not going to wheel back to us. That said, I don't even actually have that many ways to sacrifice the Disturbing Mirth itself at this point. We have one copy of Final Vengeance, so even if I did take it now, there's no, like, huge guarantee it's going to work out well. So I'll just take the Come Back Wrong here. We'll take more ways to sacrifice stuff and see if we can wheel the Disturbing Mirth. If we do, we'll obviously take it, but I don't think it's coming back. Overlord of the Balemerc is ridiculous. All the Overlords are ridiculous. Get to draw permanents out of your top 4. I guess a creature or planeswalker out of your top 4 and mill the rest, like the second you play it, and then it's a big 5/5 that keeps attacking, drawing more cards. Yeah, Overlord's absurd. Awesome to get past it. Pack 3, pick 3. Clockwork Percussionist is really nice in these red decks. 1 mana, 1/1 haste, get your damage in early, and it replaces itself the second it dies by drawing another card. Pick number 4. I like Most Valuable Slayer, but that's because I usually have Fear of Being Hunted, which is an enchantment that makes it so your opponent has to block that creature every turn. So you can attack in with a 5-power first striker that must be blocked and just keep eating your opponent's board. By itself, Most Valuable Slayer is really just okay, but if you get those two cards together, it's really fun and really strong. That said, there is not much else going on in this pack, so we might just play the kind of filler Most Valuable Slayer here. Pick number 5, another copy of Final Vengeance is nice. Gives us another way to sacrifice our extra enchantments or creatures to have a really, really cheap removal spell. And there's not much else. Take it. Pick number 6, I love me a Pyroclasm out of the sideboard, but this is a best of 1 draft, and main decking Pyroclasm is not great. We have a Soul Rager, we have a Give In to Violence. I guess this is the only uncommon in the pack, so I'll take it for Vault Progress anyway, because I'm not playing those commons. Here's another Ticket Booth. Sure. Here's a Boiler Bilge's Ripper. We got 1 copy anyway, even though I passed up on the other. I don't think we'd play 2 copies in the deck regardless, so it worked out fine. We did get the Disturbing Mirth back. Okay. Now that we have a couple Final Vengeances and this Boiler Bilge's Ripper, I think we're an okay Disturbing Mirth deck at this point. Very cool. Probably cutting that, some interventions. Got a lot of non-creature stuff here. Probably the Charred Foyer. I suppose this is an 18 land deck now. Do we run Charred Foyer over these filler removal spells? Kinda don't want to. I could have 1 blue dual land and play the Misty Salon. Yeah, no, I don't think that's gonna be it. I could play the Glimmerlight for another creature. I guess I'm, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Sorry, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Yeah, I should just need more creatures. We'll put a Glimmerlight in, I guess. Pick 10, still kind of need more creatures. What could I cut for Baelmerk Leech? Though, that's the question. These non-creature cards. Cut less to play a game. Alright, we got a deck here. 23 non-land cards. Pretty average Rakdos build here. We got some power in here with the Overlord of the Baelmerk. That could be really, really nice. Other than that, some pretty filler creature spells for the most part, and some great non-creature spells. So we'll be definitely relying on the value of the non-creature spells, I think, in this deck overall to carry. But very, very high potential deck here. Average overall, but it has a couple really, really high rolly cards that are very strong, like the Overlord and the Unholy Annex. That could carry us to victory, and plenty of removal to stay alive trying to draw into those. We have a Ghost Vacuum too. Yeah, no, this deck's better than I'm giving it credit for. It just does have more filler creatures and spells than I would prefer. And not enough like sack synergy that I'm particularly excited about cards like the Ticket Booths here. And like the Killer's Mask is just super filler in here as well. Baelmerk Leech is filler. Lots and lots of filler creatures. But great removal, great bombs. See if that can't carry us to victory. We will cross our fingers, hop into the gameplay, see how far this one can take us. All right, here we are on the play for game number 1. We have a 2-mana 2/2 on curve. I don't have much else to say. That's exciting to me. Just start beating down with a leech and clearing the board to keep it getting damage in. Red-white from our opponent. Oh boy, we got the Unholy Annex to run out here turn 3 if they don't play a creature. If they do play a creature, probably still Glassworks, but I don't know. The more I'm drawing cards off the Annex, the more powerful it's going to be. So if I just get that going immediately, that could be pretty gnarly. Why isn't this Leech a demon for my Annex? That'd be pretty sick if it was. The fact that thing has Vigilance is kind of awkward. Do I still just run out the Annex? I think I'll still just run out the Annex here. I think I have enough removal here to be fine taking some extra damage. Getting the extra cards. Ooh, Undead Sprinter's a sick draw. Being able to play a creature and a removal spell next turn. Preserve our life total, because we're going to keep shooting ourselves with this Annex. It's very cool if they like kill our demon token to stop us from gaining life, that we do have ways to sacrifice the Annex in this deck, such as Disturbing Mirth. Sprint on in, wee! And when I'm drawing an extra card every turn, I'm pretty fine to just throw removal out there willy-nilly, get my 1-for-1 trades going, because I have twice as many cards available as my opponent. Arabella, you're going to get Glassworked. And a Hand That Feeds. Cool. Are you going to get Glassworked, or am I just going to make a demon immediately? I'm going to Glasswork you and draw some cards. That'll be an Artifact Engrave now, so they're at 3 Delirium, but not there yet. Overlord, that's a nice one. It's actually a little aggressive to send Sprinter in here. So I'm taking another 2 damage going to 14. I'm so happy they made that trade. That is sweet then. Most Valuable Slayer. Alright, please do not have removal for my friend here. We do gain the life at least once, guaranteed now. Boom. Grab the prize. Discard a card, draw 2. That's suspicious. I'm not blocking that. They could have the +3/+0 trick out of red. This demon is tremendously valuable. Might even be worth not attacking with it. There's a 1 and a white like destroy a attacking creature spell. I think I still attack with it here. Because the way they played makes it look like they really have the +3/+0 trick. So we know one of their 3 cards at least. Yeah, so they did not have that removal spell. Now I could Overlord. A rat. Just a good chumper. Ethereal Armor. Slayer's even bigger, but it is not big enough to do anything to us here. And they're dead in the sky. Demon hits them for 6, and the Ritual Chamber, or no, the Unholy Annex finishes them off. That is 1-0 heading into game 2. Alright, here we are on the draw for game number 2. This is a slower hand if our opponent has an aggressive hand. It could be a problem, but I think it has good tools to stabilize. Having a removal spell turn 3. Turn 5 is like the big stabilizing turn, though. Get a 4/4 and kill a creature in the same turn if the creature is small enough. We are against blue-white. It's a very nice, very aggressive strategy. It plays a bunch of enchantments, and every time they play an enchantment, it triggers some different cards that could put like more 1/1s on the board, or more +1/+1 counters on the board, anything like that. Next turn we can Killer's Mask and Final Vengeance if we need to. They don't have a 4-mana play. That's really helpful. That means I'll just play a 2/4. Unless they have the counter spell up here. They could have the 4-mana draw 2, make a 1/1. Dang it, they have the counter spell. Fear of Failed Tests. Okay, that could draw them a million cards. So I think I should Final Vengeance that thing. And prevent that from happening. Does make the Boiler Bilge's Ripper a little stranded in the sand. I guess the Sprinter could come back from the graveyard off of its own ability at some point, so we leave that in grave. Ooh, an Overlord. My lord. My Overlord. That's not what I meant to click. I guess we played around the counter unless they pay 2. But that's not what I meant to click. I guess it worked fine. I mean, this way we got the Enter the Effect and an additional creature immediately. A different creature immediately, so if they have the removal spell, it goes on the 2/4 and not the 5/5. Or the stun spell. The stun spell goes on the 2/4 instead of our 5/5. It looked pretty awkward, but it actually went fine here, I think. Come Back Wrong is awesome. Sure. Excuse me. Come Back Wrong to trigger the Undead Sprinter is so gnarly. Beautiful stuff. Seized from Slumber the Sprinter. Surprised they picked that over the Slayer. Oh, they just have double. That makes sense then. A Plethora of riches. Do you have anything left to kill my demon with, though? No, they do. That's rude. So rude. Alright, I still have Overlord as a card draw engine. Well, I guess if it attacks too many times, I'll just mill myself. I have no other demons in the deck, and I'm at 9, so I feel like I'm sacrificing this Unholy Annex rather than activating it. If I Glimmerlight and then Mirth away the Glimmer token, I can bring back the 3/3, though. Which means I could Ripper away the Annex to kill one of those. If I do it now before they activate the Rotunda, I kill it before it's a 3/3. Okay, I think that makes sense. Let's Ripper away the 2/2. Now we can go Glimmerlight, Mirth, and the 3/3. And the Overlord is going to be up as a 5/5 blocker here, so I don't need to hold anybody up on defense. Excuse me. Okay. Seized from Slumber. They have the stats on board to hit me back for 2, but if they do, then they take 8 and die. They top deck to land, and that should be game. Just Balemurk Leech, Final Vengeance, the token, and that's game. 8 damage, they go to 0. Exact lethal, and we are 2-0 heading to game 3. Alright, here we are on the draw for game number 3. Another incredibly powerful hand, having that Unholy Annex early. Opponents on blue-green starts with a Stalked Researcher. Got double removal here that could hit pretty hard if they play any enchantments. I think in an Unholy Annex hand, I'm fine to just throw this removal out really quickly. So they have the Annex to draw more cards and refresh. Whereas if I just run out the 2/2 and then they play an enchantment and hit me for 3, it's immediately taking a lot of the Annex life we would want. There's a Spine Seeker Centipede. It's a pretty good target for comeback wrong. But I should probably save that for a bigger, scarier creature. Let's get domed in the face! I've got the mana to play Ticket Booth and Final Vengeance next turn if I need to. Down to 16. They don't play any more creatures. That feels nice for us. So what do they got here? Maybe just like the counter? Counterless would pay 2 or something? Sure, you can kill my Razorkin. Oh, no, that's really bad. All our removal is sorcery speed anyways, so there's nothing we can do about that, but this potentially draws them a lot of cards. Oh boy, yep, the Meat Locker to stun the Razorkin and then also draw a card with Entity Tracker is very good. Luckily, Paranormal Analyst is not another enchantment. Should like a blue-green, half enchantment, half manifest dread deck. Okay. Could play Percussionist and Ticket Booth and Final Vengeance. We gotta get our demon down quick. Maybe I should have cast Comeback Wrong instead of Final Vengeance, just so I had another way to sacrifice the Annex if I need to not die to it. Okay, this is awkward, because I can't spend the turn making a demon when they've got a 7/6 trample. So I'm going to take some more damage here. I think we're on full defense, really. Being at 6 life at this point. Threats around every corner. Dang, they got some analyst value here. Manifest Dread, draw the other card into their hand with the Paranormal Analyst. And also pick up a land with that. Oof, they found an Unable to Scream. It's a very good one. It's an Overlord of the Balemark. Unable to Scream makes the creature a toy, so it would not be a demon anymore. So, kind of awkward, but I think I cast Overlord and Hand That Feeds here. And hope that they turn the Overlord into a toy so that they can't turn the demon into a toy. I wish the Leech gained life. Be so happy to play it here if it did. Put them to 12. Snatcher also not a demon. Oh no. Tyvar can keep giving himself indestructible by tapping their other stuff and can buff the whole board. +3/+3 for 5 mana right now. That is an absolute nightmare. So I have to block every single creature if they choose to attack with everybody. So the smallest one would hit for 4 off of Tyvar's ability. Unable to Scream the Overlord. Pass the turn. Boiler Bilger's Ripper is the draw. That's a way to sack the Annex if they kill our demon. Also, a way to sack the Overlord. They don't have the mana. They currently don't have the mana to activate Tyvar to buff the board. So what happens if I Boiler Bilge away their face down? Then they have 3 blockers up. They block the 5/3, the 3/3, the 2/2. They take like 3 damage. They're so alive. Yeah, no, we just make a demon. There's no argument. We just make a demon. And then I can't even really attack through right now, because my biggest creatures are 3 toughness, and they can block a 3 toughness creature and get indestructible to not even lose a creature in that exchange. Alright, so let's just gain our life here. Unnerving Grasp of the Demon is rough. It's actually really brutal. They kill our demon to shut off the Annex, they get a 2/2, and they draw a card. That's huge for them. And they draw 2 cards. They draw 1 card from the Manifest, and they draw land from threats around every corner. It is massive. And now they drew another way to Manifest Dread, which is going to be another creature and another card draw. Another 2 cards drawn. Six blockers, 6 attackers, one of which has menace though.
It's still not getting through. Boiler bilge. Boop that. Killer's Mask. Ragged Playmate here. Get an unblockable swing in every turn. Unblockable hand that feeds is 4 damage. Could be a plan. We could have a strat here. Gonna cost me 3 mana to send in an unblockable hand that feeds next turn. I've got 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, so I do have the mana to play Snatcher and get hand that feeds through. Draw some cards off their Drowned Diner. Discard an island. They've got Vanish from Sight held up. Oh, Lord have mercy. We have been playing some bombs back and forth. It's fair enough. Played an Overlord and an Unholy Annex. But Dissection Tools is filthy. That lifelink is going to be completely unstoppable. I think that'll do us in here. I mean, they got us. Razor can only sacrifice his lands. It can't sacrifice creatures, so we can't, like, block a lifelinker and sack in response. There's just no possible way we can outrace now. They can just activate Tyvar twice and attack with, like, a... God, how big would that even be? Like a 16 power lifelinker? They've got the mana for it, so they're just going to gain 16 on the crackback every turn while we keep chumping. Yeah, there's no winning this game now. Dissection Tools just flipped it. Without the lifelink, we might have been able to, like, double swing with hand that feeds and have enough creatures to go, like, swing, block everything when they try to Tyvar us, and then swing one more time and they're dead. We just need to find, like, 1 enchantment ping for Leech to make it 9 damage instead of 8. I suppose there's a chance Percussionist finds something. I've only got 9 cards left and we already hit all the big ones. So I don't think so. But I guess I can still try. But they're about to gain 5 million life here. Six blockers. Hit for a very similar amount of damage if I attacked with everybody, and then they would just kill us on the crackback. Especially because they could block one of them with a lifelinker. Yeah, we really wouldn't have accomplished anything by attacking all there.
I'm basically tapped out over here, so it really depends on what's in their hand, but honestly, if they just activate Tyvar twice and attack with the lifelinker, like, they're good. Ooh, they're gonna try to get lethal right now. And they might have lethal right now. We'll see. They've got one buff. They've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 creatures. One of them is going to be 5 power. The smallest one, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 creatures. Okay, it's not lethal, but they're gaining way too much life to have a shot here. The Vigilance also makes it so the Tyvar can't die because they just activate the Centipede. So I guess because Tyvar can't die anyway, 2-2 there. Centipede will be 7 toughness. Good lord. Yeah, we can't kill anything here. We have to block all but one. Take 5 damage. And they go too high for us to kill on the crackback, I think. Especially with that Centipede. What if I block with Snatcher instead of Razorkin, and I have 1 less power left on the board, but then I kill their only blocker? This way I actually kill their blocker, even if it costs me to have 1 less power left. That feels worth it. That feels really worth it. Oh, it's 7 toughness. Oh, it doesn't matter. Never mind. I mismathed. Would have been worth it. It's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. It still would have been lethal. Still would not have been lethal. And we top decked the land. We could have kept a 1-1 haster, so we could have cracked back for 12 if we had a way to kill Centipede there. Still not quite enough, though. Yeah. Dissection tools. Tyvar gonna flip that game around, counteract our bombs there. And that is 2-1 heading into game 4. All right, here we are on the play for game number 4 now. We are 2-1 with a very hasty hand here. This is a really gnarly curve out. We have a creature every turn from turn 1 to turn 4. The first couple creatures we're playing are hasting in for damage immediately. Super rude hand. Playing against a green-red deck. And they've got their 2-mana 3/2. They got a haster of their own. And they're going to trade damage in, all right. Aggressive. Like to see it. Bring it on. Oh, these are like the full art Marvel lands. Just wondering, I hadn't seen these before. Cool. All right, I'll kill the creature that I can reanimate. Another removal spell, sure. Draw the final Vengeance. I don't have anything to sack yet. 1/1 is not blocking a 3/2, so we poke them. Drop a Razorkin. Glassworks. My lord, stop. Stop with the removal. Alright, our undead guy's good enough. We can go for him here. Oh, there's land for turn. Nice. Means I can double spell.
5 mana removal on the 3/3 that can come back from grave. That feels like a good deal for us. Good enough position. I'm not stacking a creature. We're just getting a 4/4 down. Pressuring our opponent. Discard a card, draw 2. They do not find a creature yet. Got a Scorching Dragonfire up. Nice. Alright, we put them down to 1. Let's see what they got here to come back from this. Got a lot of cards. They've got 4 cards in hand. And none of them are good enough. That'll be 3-1 heading into game number 5. Okay, here we are for a really risky hand, actually. For game number 5. We're not really doing anything till turn 4. But maybe Overlord can hit us a 3 mana or less creature to play on turn 3. We're on the play, which helps this hand out a lot. This would be monumentally risky otherwise. Oh my god, I completely missed. We completely missed. We just hit lands and 1 enchantment. Brutal Mills. Blue-green opponent again. That's the Manifest Dread colors. We did hit a creature here, but now I just really want the land. So many 4 mana things to do. They got the 2 mana Manifest thing. I'd actually be pretty happy to turn Percussionist into any other card than just a 1/1 right now. So I'm actually really happy with this exchange. Because I need to hit this land, so drawing another card deeper makes it more likely. Perfect. I don't really want a Final Vengeance, just this 2/2, but now we've got our land. Drop our 4 drops down, guaranteed. Go to 18. Fear of Isolation, pick up the Growing Dread. That's really strong. It's the cost of casting it. Sure, Razorkin pass. Razorkin in paper is like a really good hidden reach creature. Or it does not look like it has reach. But now that they added like the big giant bow on Arena, everybody knows here. Cryptid Inspector, that keeps getting bigger when they're doing stuff. 2/4 blocker on the ground, I only take the flying damage, and I get to start just jamming for 6 a turn? Sure. We could double removal in a pretty gross way if we go come back wrong Final Vengeance. Two mana to flip a card up here. If one of these is a 2 mana creature, that's going to be a really bad block for me. I think I can take the damage. Oh, right, they have the Growing Dread in hand, so obviously it's a really bad block for me. My lord, they have a lot of creatures. Scorching Dragonfire. I'll have a 5/5 up on blocks. As well. Spineseeker Centipede. Get a 3/3 Vigilance and grab a land. They are low on lands here. They haven't played... They've missed like 1 or 2 different land drops this game. So that basic land's going to be really valuable. There are a lot of colors too. They're green, white, black, and blue. Find another island. Overgrown Zealot. There's another way to get a mana of any color. Spectral Snatcher. I don't have the mana for you. You. Gosh darn. Deckbuilding. Oh my god, Overlord just missed twice. At least it's got my old Percussionist in there. Chumpity chump chump. Feels so weird to literally just play a Percussionist, but I feel like that's better than just a Ripper with no sack. We get to hold up Dragonfire here. What are you doing over there? Crazy. Okay, we'll Dragonfire that. That was a wild trick, the flip up Swarm Weaver to buff the insect that is Spineseeker Centipede. Final Vengeance, interesting. I think I'm on Ripper though. So I can kill something and get a creature down instead. Oh wow, that was a Nico. Gross. There's the concession from our opponent. By attacking all, they have really bad blocks. Because if they double block here to try to kill that, they take 8 and die, so they can't do that. So they can chump the 6/3 and take 7, go to 1. Or they can go chump, chump. Or not chump, chump. They go chump here, and then they go 3/3 on the 2/4, take 5, go to 3 is their best block. But they are over it. They manifested a couple bombs like Swarmweaver and Nico that happen to have like really good enter effects that they just couldn't get because they were on the board face down instead of manually entering. So really poor luck for our opponent there and some good luck for us. Going to carry us through that game. We are 4-1 heading into game 6. All right, here we are on the draw for game number 6. Our opponent starts with Patchwork Beastie. Once they get Delirium, it's just a big old 3/3. And until then, it's going to keep milling to help them reach Delirium, get their 4 different card types in grave. Manifest Dread is very good for the Delirium decks. That's a sorcery into grave immediately, plus another card type by whatever they mill. Unfortunately for them, just a land. Oh, Ghost Vacuum is so rude in this matchup. Scorching Dragonfire is also pretty good in this matchup. Exiling that card, then they still only have 2 card types in grave. They don't have any actually creatures to exile to the vacuum yet, so I think I'm chilling to Dragonfire and get damage in here. Nice, and it was a creature, and it was a really good one, the Brood Spinner. I was happy to keep that out of there. Vile Mutilator, that is a card I want to Ghost Vacuum as soon as possible, because they could have ways to reanimate that from graveyard, and it has really, really good enter effects. Okay. Vacuum that thing away. Defiled Crypt. Whenever one or more cards leave the graveyard, they get a 2/2 horror. That's a good counter to the Ghost Vacuum. So now every time I use it, they're getting a 2/2 anyway. Alright, well. That's pretty bad. At least the Ghost Vacuum, the Vile Mutilator has a strong enough ability that if that's the only creature that I get to animate off of the Ghost Vacuum, it'll still be pretty good. I don't think I want to exile this beastie that badly. You know what's awkward is when I make the Vile Mutilator, when I make that Spirit token off the Ghost Vacuum, it will be able to blow up their Defiled Crypt, but then I don't have the Ghost Vacuum anymore, so it doesn't even matter. Oh, they know it's an Overlord. No! That's such a combo. Alright, we'll just Ghost Vacuum our Overlord. Oh no, it's Exile too! Wow, the found footage Dragonfire actually perfect there. Brutal. Another land for us. We're 1 mana away from activating Ghost Vacuum or unlocking Tunnel of Hate. Ooh. Ooh. Horde Caller is a very good card. 4/4 haste spits out 1/1s all the time. Okay. I guess I don't have a lot of stuff to do here, so I don't hate losing Percussionist at this point. Drawing a card instead. That also gives me another card for the Ghost Vacuum. Speaking of another card for the Ghost Vacuum, it might have actually been better to just animate the land and let Boiler Bilge's Ripper sit in my graveyard for Ghost Vacuum too. They have reached the Patchwork Beastie Delirium. Go to 13. Wicker Folk Thresher. It's another really good Delirium card. So awkward we're just feeding them 2/2s. If we activate that... That draws a card every time it attacks. Yeah. Not doing particularly well right now. Final Venice away the 4/4. Make them sack one of these creatures. Oh, that's a sorcery only? Oh, I should have read that. Ow. Owie. Spineseeker Centipede. Do any of their creatures in grave have a good enough ability to exile? They don't have any creatures in grave, so no. Well, I punted, not realizing Ghost Vacuum was sorcery. But I feel like we would have really lost this game regardless. Good grief. The Brood Spinner as well for the entire army insects. Okay. And the Flood. Yeah, I mean, this game's looking unwinnable for a multitude of reasons. GG. That'll be 4-2 heading into game number 7. All right, here we are on the play for game number 7. We're 4-2 right now, so we're breaking even no matter what. But if we can win this game, we are going to be in the money this draft, and this is a solid start for us. Another Unholy Annex game. Playing against a green-white deck. Technically, the green-white mechanic is survival, which is creatures that benefit from being tapped during their second main phase. So you like attack with them, crew a vehicle with them, any of that kind of stuff to get them rolling. I don't really want to run out the Annex against the fungus while that's still around. I should play full defense here, or do I Dragonfire and start beating down? I'm going to Dragonfire and start beating down here. Baseball bat. Cool. Taps a creature every time it attacks. That's going to make it hard to hold blockers up. They can also use that with the survival cards, which is kind of neat. You can like attack and then tap one of your survival creatures the turn that you play it, which is pretty cute. Wicker Folk Thresher. Okay. Wow, come back wrong is disgusting here. Come back wrong the fungus and blow up their Thresher too. What a draw. That's actually filthy. Under the Skin. Manifest and return a permanence. Bring back the Thresher. Glimmerlight is the draw. Jam. Down to 8. Let's play the big flyer. Reluctant Role Model was the face down. It's like it's bigger every time it's tapped in their second main phase. But they're at 8 life already. They're facing quite a bit of power over here. If they can blow up our 6/6, not that bad for them, but looks like they can't blow up our 6/6, so that's just gonna be game. That'll be 5-2 now. We are in the money out of this draft, wherever things go from here. All right, here we are on the draw for game number 8 with a pretty ridiculous hand. We have our Ghost Vacuum, our Undead Sprinter, our Overlord. Got a lot of spice in here. Playing against a Boros deck, starting with the Friendly Teddy. Everybody draws a card when that dies, and I would be happy to draw a card here, so let's offer the trade. They don't want to do it. Painter Studios, they draw a couple cards they have to play by the end of their next turn. 2 lands, they can only play one of them. So that Painter Studio turned into a draw 1. So it's a slight bummer for them, but still not bad. Let's get this Overlord rolling as soon as we can. Ooh, find a creature I can play immediately? Kind of wanted to get the tap line out of the way this turn, but that seems worth. We don't have a 4-mana card in our hand, so we can just run out the tap line turn 4 still. Play a Glassworks. They did find another color off of the Painter Studio at least, even if they can only play one of the 2 lands. They got a black source now. Red, white, and black over there. Scorching Dragonfire, the Undead Sprinter, is tragic. Exile it, and we never get to do its shenanigans in the future. Oh, and they're going to exile the Ghost Vacuum. Well, I might as well shut off some Delirium here and get rid of their instant. Doing pretty decent here, just chilling. We're winning the race right now, and our hand's pretty good. Oh, Midnight Mayhem changes that. That card is excellent. 3/1/1 lifelinkers gain a bunch of life here. Now they still have a bunch of 1/1s left, which are really strong with the Defaced Gallery. So that is super threatening. Just drop the Ripper. Kill the Teddy. And keep blockers up here, maybe? Yeah, I mean, they went back up to 16 off that life gain. Glassworks on our Ripper. Probably unlock the Defaced Gallery to hit us for 4. Man, yeah, Midnight Mayhem Defaced Gallery is so strong. What do we draw here? Go down to 7. Ragged Playmate, not terrible. Land. 4 mana to play around with. I can equip here and cast a Glassworks or a Comeback Wrong. I really don't have to do that against a 1/1, but we are down to 7 life. And we have 2 other removal spells too. This gets the Playmate big enough to block a 2/1 without dying. So that should hold them off without more removal. Just trying to survive till Overlord unlocks and see if that can turn things around for us. They do have the Scorching Dragonfire to put us down to 5, which makes us dead to the Shattered Yard pretty quickly. That's the 5 mana unlock here. Deal 1 to us each turn. Man, do I not want to throw a removal spell out here, but 5 life. They spend 1 removal spell on the Overlord, and I'm down to 3 against Shattered Yard. Kind of feels like I have to. That Midnight Mayhem put in so much work here, forcing all those removals. It's really the combo of having that with the Defaced Gallery that got us. If they just had the 1, we would have taken much less damage by now. Yep, and they do have the removal for the Overlord, so I am... As painful as it was, I am glad I went ahead and killed the 1/1 here. Otherwise, we'd be at 3 life now, taking that Shattered Yard damage. We are just flooding. least our opponent is too, but we're on a 3-turn clock and we cannot kill them that fast. It's something. Not enough, but it's something. If they can't kill my demon, that could save us. It's like our one shot. It's our one piece of life gain in this deck. Maybe I should have put the Glimmer Light onto the demon, because there is a 6 damage red burn spell. That would be an embarrassing way to lose this game. So we could have played around that. Okay, we have exactly one line here. Pray they can't kill demon. They can't? They have the 5 damage burn. Oh my god, we are so lucky. Wow, brutal game for our opponent. That's gotta feel awful. They got the lead really, really well, got us down super low, and then we just drew a great rare that managed to gain us the life and flip that game around while giving us a giant flyer. Brutal stuff. That is 6-2. We have made it all the way to the final boss, and no matter what, we are leaving with quite a bit more than we paid to enter. We are in the money here, heading to the final battle, our final game of Magic for today. All right, here we are on the play for our final game of Magic. A bit of a slower hand. We have a 2 mana, a 4 mana, and a 5 mana play. But we are on the play here, which helps us play these cards a little bit earlier. Playing against a blue deck, our first draw is just another land. Hoping to draw some 3 or 4 mana stuff to do, or 2 mana stuff. I'll play more 2 mana cards on turn 3. Nope, exclusively lands so far. Flood Pit's Drowner is the play from our opponent. Stun our 2/2 and get their own damage in with a Vigilant threat. Now we find a Ragged Playmate, but we've got the 4 mana now. We can play around the counter unless we pay 2 at least. By drawing that. Twist Reality, just a full-on counterspell. They choose to use Manifest Tread on it instead, though. They're green, black, and blues, probably splashing around for some good rares. Got the potential mana to flip up something beefy, or the potential mana to counter our next play. The odds of this being like a 4/4. Probably pretty low, but high enough. I don't think I should swing in against completely open mana. Alright, you want to counter a Razorkin? They're going to let it resolve. Let's move that over then. Enduring Curiosity. That's a very good rare. Every time any one of their creatures damages us, they draw another card. And when that dies, it still sticks around on the board. It's not a creature anymore, it just becomes a full-on enchantment. But that's incredibly good value. That means they can trade that off into the Razorkin and then still have that effect hanging around. Yeah, this is not good. Yep, I mean, this is just an awesome trade for our opponent because they still have the ability, which is the important part, left around. Underwater Tunnel can manifest them a 3/3 face down. We've drawn a lot of lands this game. Shoot the flyer, I guess. But then they can move the Windbreaker to something else and just have another flyer. And they Windbreaker to Windbreaker? That's really funny. See, I mean, now they just give something flying, draw an extra card every turn. Enduring Curiosity just gonna kill us here. Slowly over time, grind out too much value. Draw land past the turn. Draw land past the turn. And I guess I could try hitting them with just the Ripper here. But then if they have just one like bounce or removal spell, they're drawing 2 cards a turn. Because this is tapped. Get rid of that. Boom, boom, draw, draw. It's the best bet we have, is just trying to do something with Ripper here. Okay, well now it's just really not. Oh boy. It's an army of flyers. Interesting. It's harder to counter the Annex than the Demon because the Annex is so cheap, but they have the Twist Reality anyway. I'm good enough there. Enduring Curiosity really gets us, and then we just had 4 spells? Yeah, 4 mediocre spells and like 10 lands. It happens. That's magic for you. 6 and 3 will be the final record for this deck. Very reasonable one. We didn't get a full trophy run, but that's a-okay. We still were very far in the money, still had a very positive win rate. Don't mind this at all. Maybe one of those earlier games we could have played a bit better and found a victory somewhere. That's that final round, though. Pretty rough draws against a pretty great hand from opponent is going to do us in. Yeah, simple stuff. Fun little Rakdos deck. This deck was really just relying on the great rares, like draft great rares and stick to the colors those rares are in, with the Overlord and the Annex being the absolute biggest overperformers, but Ghost Vacuum was solid, Undead Sprinter was solid. A lot of fun with the deck, still a pretty good record, still a pretty excellent draft all around here at 6 and 3 for today's deck. But that is going to end today's video. As always, I'd like to thank my patrons and YouTube members for their support, as well as you for watching the video. If you enjoyed it and you're interested in seeing some more, you can always like, comment, and subscribe to tell the YouTube algorithm to send you some more recommended feed. If you'd like to support the channel directly, you can check out the Patreon link in the description below. And other than that, as always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again soon for some more Magic Arena.